Hello from Jackson Lake State Park in Northeast Colorado. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to our 5-part series of 2025 Colorado all-electric travel camping expedition. Today is episode 5, our last and final episode. In this episode, we'll be racing home, literally and figuratively, to get home before our son with his camper does. He's off right now taking the women and children to the airport. When he gets back, we're going to leave together. He's got a big van and a big camper. I've got a Lightning and a small camper, and we'll see how much longer it takes me to get home than him. We have some rules in place, obviously, because while it is a race, safety comes first. So the first rule is the speed limit is 70 miles an hour or 5 miles over the posted speed limit, whichever is less. So if the speed limit is 75, we're going 70 at the most. If the speed limit is 45, we might be going up to 50. So that's the first rule. He's going to stop and sleep probably 4 to 6 hours. I'm going to try to sleep while I'm charging, and that may give me some opportunity to try to keep things close. I still think he'll beat me by a fair amount, but let's see by how much. So come along with us.
Welcome back to E-Hermes, your electric adventure travel channel. Please remember to subscribe, hit the like button, and hit that bell button to be notified of our upcoming content.
All right, we are leaving with a 100% state of charge. I charged from 16% to 100% yesterday afternoon and overnight. So we have a full tank. He's got about half tank gas. He's gonna have to stop before I do. Our first stop is 158 miles, as I have 166 miles range. I think I have a little bit more than that, but we'll see. So here we go.
We left at 12:10 Mountain Time, 2:10 Eastern Time.
Here we are at the Electrify America in Oglethorpe, maybe, Nebraska. Not sure how you pronounce it. All 4 units are in use, which is surprising because the app says one of them is not surprisingly down for service. Another one is only giving partial power, but I've got 150 kW. It's not a great location, kind of blocking the drive. Feel a little bit bad about it. If somebody else moves, I'll move up, but other than that, I don't know what to do. I don't really want to unhook. So we'll just stay here for a little bit and then get right back on the highway and head to a Tesla supercharger, which usually is more spacious. So we have 7 miles to go to the charger. We're 12%. It estimates about 20 miles, and I think that's about right on the range. I think we'll have about 10 to 12 left when we get there. Hopefully everything goes well at the charger. Charging stop 2 is at the Dollar Fresh Market. Tesla supercharger with Magic Docks, by the way. I didn't use it because I have my own adapter. Getting about 110 kilowatts of power. I think the battery's pretty hot again. And this is our second stop. After this, I think the next stop is going to be at a non-Tesla charger because I can't get to the next one I want to get to. And the next Tesla superchargers are not compatible with Lightning. But here in Lexington, it is county fair time. Pretty big happenings here in the small town. The fair and I both got wet, and man is it windy. The wind is completely crazy here. Trucks are having a hard time staying in their lane. It's actually whipping me around a little bit, although as heavy as this is, not as bad as it could be. But it is crazy windy and gusty out here. These marked but undivided lane head-to-head traffic is not cool at all. The speed limit is 65. We're going well under that, thank goodness, especially in the wind and the rain. It's hard enough for people to stay in a lane. If somebody crosses that center line, it's going to be ugly. Don't like the setup. Don't like it at all. Had the same thing in Colorado. I'm glad in the eastern states we generally use the concrete barriers. I gotta find out what that thing is someday. Believe it or not, I think I've actually charged at this station before. This is York, Nebraska, Huddle House. It's listed under. They have 2 DC fast chargers and a J1772. They say they have 2. I guess there's 2 handles on the J1772. We are going to use the DC fast charger. I really like this location because with the trailer, there's so much room that I can pull straight in and not block anything from anybody. And the price is very reasonable. I tried both stations. Neither, obviously there's only one in use, the one I'm using, but I'm still only getting 60 kilowatts. I should be getting 125 because there's nobody using the other one, but I'm not, and I've tried them both, and this is the best I'm gonna do. All right, this has been an absolute disaster of a charging stop. I'm gonna get to 40% here, and then I'm getting out of here. These machines suck. It's been terrible. I was getting 30 kilowatts over there. I'm finally getting 60 over on this one. I've changed machines 2 or 3 times. If I can get to 40%, I can get to Lincoln to the Tesla supercharger. I'll charge there. Then I have to find somewhere in Council Bluffs to charge because I cannot get to Des Moines, which is the next Tesla supercharger that we can use. I have to say, coming on Interstate 70 through Missouri and Kansas was so much better. Interstate 80 is a desert. Don't try it with a non-Tesla. If you're towing something, you have to rely on Electrify America, which are always broken, and charge points and EVgo's. If you want to use Tesla superchargers, use Interstate 70, not Interstate 80. They are just way too few and far between, but as always, the Tesla supercharger getting great speeds, 156 kW. Really happy to have this one. I would just wish they were spaced a little more closely because there aren't nearly enough of them when you're pulling a trailer, so I have to rely on these other sorry charging networks like Electrify America and ChargePoint, and they just can't hold a candle to Tesla's charging network. Say what you want to about Tesla, their charging network is top notch. Well, that was a much better charging stop. We got a good charge up to 80%, and I got a little bit of sleep back in the camper, so we are good to go to the next charger. It's not real far, it's just enough so that I can add on enough that I can get the next Tesla supercharger in Des Moines, Iowa. I think we're going to Council Bluffs, Iowa next. And we're going to a Ford dealership, see how that goes, if their charger really works or not. There's no reviews on it. It's on PlugShare, but there's no reviews for it yet, so we might be the first people to see it. We'll find out.
South, Council Bluffs toward I-80 East.
Thank God, as we finally crossed the river, we have gotten out of the state of Nebraska. What a deplorable state for charging infrastructure. It is sad and disappointing to see how bad it is there. The problem is basically that Tesla was there early on, so there's a lot of older stations there that don't support other vehicles, and no one else has stepped up to fill the void. And so there are just very limited options for charging for non-Teslas, especially spaced out if you're towing a trailer. There just isn't enough there. Anyhow, we're going to charge here in Council Bluffs, Iowa. And then, well, thank you. She said, welcome to Iowa. Thank you. We're going to charge here in Council Bluffs. And then our next one will be Des Moines. So we're going to start making some progress now, hopefully, that we've gotten out of Nebraska. Well, this would seem to be the place.
Turn left, then your destination will be on the right.
All we have to do is find the chargers.
Your destination is on the right.
No, my destination is on the left, I think. Let's see what we got here. See a big cabinet over here. Hopefully they have not blocked it with other vehicles. McMullen Ford, you've done it right. You've got 2 DC fast chargers here, which will charge up to 4 vehicles, because I think you can split the loads. Since we're the only ones here around midnight, we're getting over 100 kilowatts. That's pretty good. They did not block the stalls with other vehicles, which some dealerships do, so that's really good. And, well, we are kind of blocking the driveway, but believe me, there is nobody else here. And if they were, and they had to get to the other charger, for instance, there is still plenty of room for them to get by and around. We're gonna charge up here to 80%, and then we're heading off to Des Moines, Iowa, to a Tesla supercharger. I'm starting to get a good feeling already that Iowa's gonna treat us much better than Nebraska did. The weather is abysmal. This is actually a pretty light rain compared to what we've had. I really couldn't take my hand off the wheel, even turn the camera on before now. But the lightning, the wind, the rain, it's something. The Blue Crews can't see. I can't really see. I'm down to 45 miles an hour on the interstate, and I can barely see. We're having fun now. All right, I found a bailout. I can't keep driving in this. There's an Electrify America at a come and go that has good reviews coming up here, so I'm going to get off in 7 miles, plug in, set it to 100%, which will probably be an hour and a half to 2 hours. So I'll be down to maybe 8%, and I'm going back to the camper and getting some sleep, and hopefully when I wake up, this ridiculous weather is over. After an over 2-hour stop, including about an hour and a half of sleeping, we are back on the road, and look, it's raining. Although it's normal rain now, I can drive in this, I can see, and it's starting to get light, so that helps as well. Next stop is Williamsville, Iowa, at a Electrify America. I think it's at a, I don't know what it's at, Casey's. Yes, at a Casey's. Iowa City, Iowa, Tesla supercharger. Good charging speeds, good session. Seemed real easy when I pulled in, but it's a real long ways to back up to get out of here. Let's see how good I am. Well, it was not a thing of beauty, but no one got hurt, and I did make it out of there, backing up a couple times to get out. Drove through the gas pumps, and now I'm back on the road. As we cross the Mississippi River from Iowa into Illinois, I have to say that Iowa's charging infrastructure is much, much better along Interstate 80 than Nebraska's. I kind of lumped them together earlier when I was frustrated in Nebraska because it's kind of hard to do one without the other, but I would still, if I had the choice, probably take Interstate 70 through Missouri and Kansas, but it's not Iowa's fault, it's all Nebraska's fault. Anyhow, here we are into Illinois. I think we have about 85 miles to our next stop. We'll have one charge there, then we'll be sneaking past Chicago, hopefully. This is a small glimpse of the future at the Pilot Flying J GM DC fast chargers in LaSalle, Illinois. 2 vehicles, there could actually be 2 more, both towing trailers. Even if there were other trailers here, I think we could all fit. So this is a really nice setup, got a canopy over it. If I wasn't out here filming, I wouldn't even be getting wet. Probably one of the better laid out spots I've ever been to. Well, I'm happy to have had a real full sit-down meal. The service was a little slow in Denny's, so we got up to 90%. So our next stop, I believe, will be in Indiana. You have to love the Chicago area traffic. No matter what time of day, it's about 12:30 on a Sunday, and it's absurd. But the good news is we are about out of Illinois into Indiana. We only charged that one time with the Pilot Flying J, which is really good setup. Really like that one. The next charge is going to be on the Indiana Tollway at a service plaza. And there's a Tesla there, and I think there's EVgo or another brand, but we're going to use the Tesla if we can get at them. But whichever one we can get access to with the trailer is what we'll use. So that should be coming up in about 20 miles. I stopped for the Tesla superchargers over there, but a nice lady that was charging at a Tesla said, hey, these are pretty hard to get in and out of with a trailer. If you go over here, there's some CCS that are parallel parking with the trailer, plenty of room. So that's what I did. Getting about 138, 140, nothing wrong with that. And yeah, we're going to stay here until I think our next stop will be South Bend. Here we are at the Howe, Indiana Service Plaza. There wasn't a great way to park over there without blocking a bunch of stuff, either the drive lane or the other chargers. Had all this concrete, plenty of room. The truck had no problem getting up on it. I'm not in anybody's way. I'm only using one charger. Life is good. Even though I have to drive maybe 3/4 of the way across the state still, it always feels like home once you get back into your home state. Here we are back into Ohio. We have one more charging stop at the Wyandotte Service Plaza. It's the Blue Heron Service Plaza westbound, Wyandotte Service Plaza eastbound, just east of Toledo. And that should be enough, and it was when we came down from Michigan, to get us home from there. So one more stop, and then we will be home, thank goodness. Yes, the Wyandotte Service Plaza on the Ohio Turnpike does have Tesla superchargers, and with the installer, if the white car was there, I might have been able to sneak the front corner in, not block too much, but really, with these electrifying markers here, it's just easier to use them. Yes, I know it costs quite a bit more, but we're not in anybody's way. We're getting good speeds, and this is our last stop anyhow. I certainly don't want to unhook the trailer at this point, so we're just going to stay here probably to 90% because I don't want to cut myself short and end up, I'm tired, and I don't want to stay, and I want to get home, but the more you rush, sometimes the worse things are, so I'm going to make sure I stay to 90%, and that should definitely give me enough to get home. And we are home. This trip, episode 5, from Jackson Lake State Park in northeastern Colorado to northeast Ohio, was 1,303 miles. We averaged 1.2 miles per kilowatt hour. For the entire series, we went 3,771 miles and averaged 1.3 miles per kilowatt hour. We're going to do some comparison with our son and his camper and truck coming home, and we'll get back to that tomorrow.
Ironically, we both had 11 fuel, food, restroom, sleep stops on the way home. However, as you will see in the spreadsheet, his stops totaled about 7.5 hours, while mine totaled just over 13 hours, or 5 hours and 42 minutes longer. Because I drove on average a little bit faster, my total trip took 20 hours and 40 minutes, with his taking 16 hours and 12 minutes. So, while my stops took almost twice, or maybe I should say only twice, as long as his stops, over the entire trip it only added about 4.5 hours of time. That is not nothing, but it is also not life-changing. I really thought that the difference would be much greater, so I was quite happy that I got home only a few hours after he did. Because the combined rigs were so different in size of both the tow vehicles and the trailers, I did not think it was worth tracking costs. I do know that I spent substantially less than he did, but then again, with the rig differences, this was to be expected. We certainly hope that you have enjoyed this look at the comparison and travel time between a 14-passenger van towing a large trailer and our F-150 Lightning towing our Casita. If you did, please hit the like button. If you've not already done so, please subscribe, and please hit that bell button to be notified of our upcoming content. Thank you!